Thanks for joining us today. We will start shortly with the head coach, Pat Fitzgerald, who will make an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions. If you would like to ask a question, please send a message to Athletic Communications in the chat at the bottom of the screen. Coach Fitzgerald will be followed today by quarterback Peyton Ramsey, wide receiver and returner Riley Lease. Who else? Safety Brandon Joseph and linebacker Chris Bergen. Coach.
All right, thanks everybody for being with us. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'll start off with our thoughts and prayers are with the Kraft and the Jarvis family. We lost two giants in the Northwestern athletics family here over the last couple of weeks, and our thoughts and prayers are with their families. Mr. J was somebody that was really special, I think, to anybody that wore the purple and white during his time. And, I was texting with him last Saturday, the day that he passed. So it's really sad. It breaks my heart, but I know he's in a better place. And I want to lift he and his family up, obviously, from our entire Northwestern football family. And then, obviously, appreciate our partners in Under Armour here on the eve of Veterans Day. And our thoughts are with all those that have served. And those that are out serving, defending our freedom and our liberty. We're so thankful for your sacrifice and your dedication to making America great, just outstanding. And we're very thankful for all your sacrifice. So to the game, obviously we got going with a pretty good drive, but then the turnovers really led to an issue with us getting into a rhythm offensively, and our defense just saved us in the first half. This game, albeit was a 4-quarter game, our defense's ability to hold them to field goals and no points in the first half was critically important. We obviously got the big return to start the second half, and we needed a momentum play, and that got us kick-started, and a great job by the guys up front and a terrific job by Kyrick getting that play going, and then to put the drive together and seize momentum was key. Huge stops in the red zone, big interception by Brandon that was critical to stop that drive, and then you just look at the way we finished the game. I think the guys had to empty the tank. So credit Nebraska. They had 2 weeks to prepare for us. They're so talented on offense. It showed, and defensively they were able to stymie us quite a bit. And so we'll take a hard look at ourselves and work diligently to improve this week. But really proud of the kicking game. I thought that was key in this game. The explosive returns, the great punt coverage, the great punting by Derek. I know Charlie had the one that he missed, but he struck it well. I mean, that would have been good from probably 60. And the way he responded, kicking the ball off, was absolutely outstanding. So appreciate everybody being with us. Hope everybody stays healthy and safe tonight. That's what I told the team after, we're 1-0 in Ryan Field today, but we got to be 1-0 against COVID tonight with our social choices and decisions. So with that, I'll answer any all questions that you may have. Thanks.
First question, Ella Brockway.
Hi, Coach. This is a third straight game in a row in which your defense held the opponents scoreless in the second half. That's a really impressive stat. What is it about the way the defense comes out after halftime that just makes that happen?
Yeah, thanks, Ella. Hope all is well. I think, first of all, we got a veteran group over there, right? I mean, we've got a veteran core group of guys, I should say, that are pretty unflappable. And then I think our young talent is just gaining more and more confidence the more that we play. So I think it's a combination of those things. And then a veteran staff, I think this is Hank's 396th win. I got to get this right. I could be wrong. It could be 395, but when you got veterans on the field, you got veterans adjusting and calling the game. It gives you a lot of confidence to be able to go out and execute.
Next question for Matt Fortuna.
Hey, Fitz. What was your plan or philosophy coming into the game for Nebraska's quarterbacks? Are you surprised at all they didn't rotate a little bit more earlier and just made the switch late at the end?
Yeah. Hey, Matt, how you doing, buddy? You have to plan to adjust. I mean, we kind of looked at this game with their offense like an opener. We had one game of empirical data with this team. And so we looked at it like after the first quarter, we're going to have a good idea what they may or may not do. And then to have McCaffrey come out late, I mean, both those quarterbacks are absolutely outstanding. And, they present all kinds of problems. I think they probably average like 60 yards per quarterback draw. So a lot of room to improve there by our defense.
Next question from Michael Fitzpatrick.
Hi, Coach. You guys have already matched your win total from last year. So, what does it say about the guys that came back or all the returns that they're able to just like flush that, move on from a disappointing year last year, and get off to a great start this year?
Yeah. Hey, Fitz, how you doing, buddy? The hair's looking fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we talked about it last year. When we won the Land of Lincoln, that we had to make a decision individually, and we had to make a decision collectively, and we had to make a decision as a program on how we were going to respond and never allow what happened last year to happen again. And again, the credit goes to first and foremost our players. They've been through such a roller coaster this point, and the way that they've handled everything, I'm so incredibly proud of them, and so thankful for their families. And then obviously to our staff also, just to stick together and just keep trying to work hard to get better. Listen, we won 84 White Sox today, man. Today was a win and ugly game. All right. And we've got to get a lot better in a lot of ways. It starts with me, but we'll take it. A win's a win. And I've approached this year, I think, with just such a thankful mindset, just to be able to coach these guys and to be able to have the opportunity to be out on the field. And again, I'm not going to underestimate the job that our medical team has done with Kevin Kikagawa and Jeff Mianis and their teams. I mean, I can't thank them enough for all that they've done. And now let's make great choices tonight and stay healthy and safe.
Next question for Andrew Golden.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Brandon Joseph had another interception today. Obviously, he's had a lot of success early on in the season. What did you see from him in the offseason that's been leading to his success so far in these first 3 games?
Hey, Andrew, still love that turtle flag behind you there, buddy. So we'll see if we can get you a new one. But at any rate, listen, B. Joe's a heck of a player, and he's a young guy. He and I were walking in to the tunnel into the Buehler Athletic Center there after the game, and I saw he kind of had a look on his face like he was a little upset. And I'm like, "Tell me about how you played. I'm assuming you don't feel like you played very well." He's like, "No, I didn't play very well at all." That's a wow for a young player. I mean, and we got a lot of that, and we got a lot of competition, especially in the back end, in the running back room, at wide receiver, at tight end. So I know those guys aren't happy with maybe as much as they're playing, but I don't know when their time's going to come. They've just got to be prepared. And I think Brandon's one of those examples of a young player that this started, I think, last year. I mean, he really diligently worked to learn the defense. We put a lot on our safeties. Mike Bajakian, after our first couple spring practices, he doesn't know anybody's name. And he's like, "Hey, who's 16? I'm like, and that's Brandon Joseph. He's like, "That guy's pretty good. You think he can play on offense?" I was like, "No, he's going to stay on defense." But I appreciate you asking. So, I again, an independent person that hadn't been around our program to be able to say that early in spring ball, I think is indicative of Brandon, not only to the first 3 weeks, but also the way he had an offseason.
Next question for Andrew Seligman. I think you're muted, Andy.
What do you think of Ramsey's performance, and what is did you learn something about his poise today, maybe that he was able to shake off the 2 interceptions and kind of get going there in the second half?
Yeah, exactly. And I would agree with exactly everything you just said. I thought, the first one was a freak deal. I mean, if he puts 1 more yard of air on it, it's an explosive pass play, and credit Nebraska for that play. And then, their guy jumped the outcut. Well, guess what? A couple third downs down the road, we threw this exact same concept, and the in cut was wide open. And, he didn't trust himself in the first rep, and he gunned it in there on a huge third down pickup there in the fourth quarter. So again, it sure helps to have a veteran at that position. I think he's been really good when things haven't gone well, coming to the boundary, and I think he's just tough as nails. So we're really appreciative of the way he's playing, and I think he's 1-0 3 times. That's what I think, Andy. It's all that matters. The hallmark of a great quarterback is lead your team to victory, and he's done that now every time.
Next question for Drew Schott.
Hey, Coach. Staying on the topic of Peyton Ramsey, obviously he had those 2 interceptions at the end of the first half, but on the first quarter, in the first possession of the third quarter, I mean, he counted for 50 total yards and threw that great 2-yard touchdown to John Rain. What were some of your adjustments coming out of the locker room in halftime, specifically for the offense? And also, did you say anything to Peyton to kind of, after he ended the half that way, that kind of led into his performance in the second?
Yeah, Drew, hope all is well. No, I didn't get a chance to actually talk to him face to face. We were doing some adjustments on both sides of the ball, but I just talked to the offense. Like, you guys seem bored. You've been out there for like 9 minutes. So it'd be cool to get something going here, and get some momentum. And then I talked to our kickoff return team. You guys are up first. They kick it into the wind. We got a chance to make a play. And again, the credit goes to Kyrick and those guys up in front blocking for him. And then, we responded and put together a heck of a drive that we needed. And that was huge to get momentum and get some energy going because we couldn't get a rhythm going offensively today. But that was huge. So I'll credit Nebraska for that.
Next question for Louis.
Hey, Coach, before you say anything, I forgot my glasses today, so I'm not big timing you. These are the only things I can see out of today. So I was going to ask about Peyton too, but now that that's been covered, Isaiah Bowser was out today. What does it say about the depth in your running back room, and what did you think about the running game today?
Well, Louis, those kind of look like frog skins circa 1995 when I was in the sideline at the Rose Bowl. So I wouldn't have noticed it until you brought it up. They got those glasses that tint
No.
when it's sunny out. So I would have given you full credit for that. But excuses are, and that's all right. I think you look really, really good. Listen, IB wasn't quite full speed this week. And I got to credit Lou Ianni and Kevin Kikagawa. And listen, IB wanted to play in the worst way today. Even this morning, texting Lou, I want to play. I'm letting my teammates down. But that was our decision. We just felt like, I know it's not a 12-game season, but we got a lot of big games ahead of us. We wanted to give him a week to really get as close as he can to 100% because he's a workhorse kind of guy. And, we could have had him as an emergency back today, but we made the decision pregame not to dress him. And like I talked about last week, I think we've got really good depth there. We've got really good depth at wide receiver, tight end, DBs, linebackers. You see our D-line right now is showing our depth. So, I think Jay Hooten, Matt Flannery, Spanos, Lucius, and Coach Rick Perry, that strength staff should take a ton of credit with getting our whole roster prepared, not just the guys that maybe were going out of spring ball as a starter. So, really proud of those guys, the way they stepped up. And how about Evan? I thought Evan was a shot, man. He looked physical, big screen play, almost busted that one for a long run. And I'm on the elliptical, get my skinny fat workout in the mornings. And here's this dude doing yoga every single morning. So Evan's time will come. I'm really proud of Drake, the way he played today. And there's going to be so much room for improvement when we watch this tape.
Thank you.
You bet, Roy Orbison.
Next question for Peter Warren.
Hey, Fitz, going back to Payne Ramsey, what do you think it says about his leadership and team's trust in him that despite, not his best game, he's still able to lead the team out there and team's able to rally behind him?
Yeah, Peter, I think he's been really calm, man. I don't know what it looks like on TV. I don't watch the TV copies, but on the boundary. But, man, he's just got again, he's a coach's son. He's played a ton of football in this league. He's had really, really good games like the Maryland game. And then you look at a couple of plays that he's had in the Iowa and this game, and you kind of go, all right, let's see how he responds. And he's just consistent in the same mindset each time. I'm fine, let's go. And that's what you want out of your quarterback. That's what you want out of your offensive leader. And I'm really proud of him.
Time for 2 more questions. Next one for Shannon Ryan.
Hi, Pat.
Hey, Shannon, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
It's great to talk to you.
Congratulations. Yeah. So sorry, my audio wasn't working, or I couldn't really hear. So hopefully this wasn't asked at the beginning, but there were those 2 tough calls on a drive, and you guys still stayed really resilient defensively when, Nebraska's right there and get the turnover, of course. But what does that say about the kind of response of your defense to not get rattled by maybe even like questionable calls?
I'm not going to touch that, but
Okay.
Yeah, you got to respond. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% what you do about it, right? And things are going to happen. You have to respond to it. I honestly think we got to be better at it. I think we got to be better at it as coaches first and foremost. That's where it starts, and I think we can be much better there. But I thought our guys were awesome on the field. I thought they had a great look in their eye. I thought they had great confidence, and I thought they responded very, very well.
Last question is from Tim Gray. His mic isn't working, so I'm going to read this one. Tim asks, Patty Fisher and Chris Bergen always seem to play big against Nebraska. How much do those guys bring to games specifically like this one?
Yeah, Tim, I'm sorry I can't see you here to answer your question face to face. I would say that that group of three, with Galley and Bergie and Patty, it goes back to the way they prepare. If it's Nebraska or Iowa or Maryland or next week against Purdue, these guys are relentless now. I mean, they will do everything in their power to film study, practice. I mean, they practice the same way they play. I've got to slow them down at times. And so the credit goes to those three guys, most importantly. I think their backups are pretty darn good too. And those guys are waiting for an opportunity and they'll be prepared for it. But Timmy McGargle, again, another guy who's going to be a head football coach here on our staff, does an absolutely outstanding job with those linebackers. I think their eyes are outstanding. I think they're physical at the POA. I think they've improved a lot in some areas that we identified that we needed to improve on. And then I think they're just absolutely outstanding leaders and really unflappable no matter what. If we're high, winning or losing, there's a consistency with the way that they play. All right, I guess that's the last question. So I appreciate everybody. Please stay healthy and safe. And again, to our veterans and their families, we appreciate you so very much. And to the Jarvis and Kraft family, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Go Cats.